Meghan Markle's father, now 81 years old, lies in intensive care after emergency heart surgery in the Philippines. His son, Thomas Jr., has told the press that doctors warned his father's life was in imminent danger. 3 hours of surgery were followed by an urgent procedure to remove a blood clot. He remains gravely unwell and faces a long recovery. This is a man whose medical history is already daunting. He's suffered 2 heart attacks, a stroke in 2022 that damaged his speech, and the wider strain of frailty in later life. His children, Samantha and Thomas Jr., say plainly that the emotional toll of the last 7 years has contributed to his decline, and it's impossible to ignore the timing. While Meghan promotes a festive special emphasising family warmth with Love Meghan, her father makes a public plea from a hospital bed describing how every day brings a reminder that his daughter no longer speaks to him. So the question resurfaces, should Meghan reach out? So we know the estrangement began before the royal wedding in 2018. Thomas Markle cooperated with staged paparazzi photographs, believing wrongly that they would present him in a more favourable light. He says he was overwhelmed and unprepared for the press frenzy around his daughter's sudden transformation from actress to duchess. He has always argued that he acted out of insecurity rather than malice. But for Harry and Meghan, trust was shattered, and they believed that he lied and that the media manipulation risked the dignity and the security of the royal wedding itself. The phone calls that followed were, by all accounts, tense, accusatory, and emotionally catastrophic, and after that, communication collapsed completely. There are, of course, 2 truths at play. One truth is the private bond. Thomas paid for Meghan's education, supported her into adulthood, gave her a mixed-race upbringing full of love and humour, and she once wrote, he taught her to draw her own box when asked to pick between black or white. This was a father who shaped her outlook and her identity. The other truth is that the public arena amplifies wounds. Every newspaper interview, every quote to a tabloid, every televised criticism of Meghan and Harry has widened the gulf. What might have been a painful but fixable rift has instead become a spectacle. Meghan has built a protective wall around her small family unit. She's faced relentless scrutiny, racist attacks and estrangement from the monarchy itself. To her supporters, the silence towards her father may be a necessary boundary. To her critics, it's cold and incongruous with her own messaging of compassion. We should separate moralising from the simple reality, though. An elderly man in life-threatening condition wants to hear from his daughter, and beyond that he wants to meet his grandchildren before he dies. That desire is profoundly human. It transcends celebrity and scandal. It's not unique to the Markle family. Estrangement can poison relationships in any household, or royal or ordinary, yet here every step is performed under the biggest glare. Public pressure is mounting. The timing is cruelly ironic. A Netflix project celebrating family closeness is broadcast while a father lies between life and death. Meghan's siblings are seized, are presenting a narrative that complicates her polished brand. And still, there is a key principle. Nobody outside the family truly knows the full story inside it. Harsh judgments risk being blind. But it's hard not to hope for something very simple, a phone call, a text, a moment of grace. And if reconciliation feels impossible, then compassion requires only acknowledgement. Even a small step could relieve a burden that has weighed heavily on both sides. And if the worst happens, silence would become permanent, and regret has a long tail. As I say, a phone call, a text, a moment of grace. Grace is what the monarchy and the wider royal community is supposed to embody. Thomas Markle's condition forces a reckoning with time. His health has been failing for years. This may be the final chapter. The Duchess of Sussex has spoken often about kindness, healing and love. Here is the chance to apply those principles in the most intimate and meaningful way, not for publicity, not for narrative control, but for a father who once made her a blended Barbie family so that she would see herself fully. This is a moment that calls not for judgment but for humanity. A daughter and father separated by pride, pain and the world's cameras could still choose a few words that cost nothing and mean everything. Let's hope they don't run out of time.